Listen, take it from me. The defense that Mahomes is facing this year doesn't hold a candle to the defense Mahomes is facing last year.
Here we go.
Let me just take it from me. And we sacked
And who did they play? Who did the Chiefs play last year?
They played the GOATs of an era, the San Francisco 49ers.
Thank you for downloading and listening to West Box Score. I'm Alex Gonzalez, and you're about to witness the strength of podcasting history here. This is a monumental moment here we've all been waiting for. This is the West Box Score, the Fox Crate podcast crossover, man. Not since the Scooby-Doo crossover with the Flintstones has the world been anticipating this. No, this is monumental, man. Primo, Rick, Sonny, Hermano, welcome to West Box Score.
Dude, there were so many analogies you could have used. I was waiting for like Kanye and Jay-Z.
Flintstones, Jetsons. I was going Flintstones, Jetsons.
Flintstones, Jetsons. That's what I was thinking.
Damn, man. What's up, man?
Thank you for correcting me, man. I appreciate that. Primo, Rick in the house, man. What's up?
Thank you for having
What's going on, fellas?
I mean, we already have
this fool's been here already.
Dude, I'll never forget when I first fucking joined the West Box Score. The first thing Alex said, we have finally, from the Fox Crate. We have Sonny Hermano. We couldn't get Primo Rick, but we have Sonny Hermano.
Yeah, I know, man. We finally got the captain of the ship. We've had the co-captain. We've had, so now welcome. Primo Rick, man. D-Bot in the house also. What's up, Donald?
Yo, what's going on, guys?
So, man, this is great to have the four horsemen of the podcasting game here. Throw it up. Throw the four up, man. That's fantastic, dude. Primo Rick, welcome to the show. So we got to ask you right away, man. Favorite LA sports team, who is it?
Love the Dodgers. Really, really, really like the Lakers. But I would say love Dodgers. Just it's more family connection. So yeah, that's where I start.
So that's your number one sports team. Go to way more games, obviously, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was way more affordable. I think my first Laker game ever was Christmas Day. Well, yeah, Christmas Day. It was Lakers versus AI. That Christmas Day, Shaq didn't play that day, but Kobe played. So I spent like $200 on tickets right underneath the banners, man. Like it was way the fuck up there. So yeah,
man. But you're there, man. And the thing with Staples Center is like there's no bad seat in the house. There's just better ones.
Yeah, it's a great vibe. And Christmas Day, I've gone to like 2 or 3 Christmas Day games, and it's always became like a tradition. I'm glad they've kind of kept it that way. But it's
for sure.
Cool. Even when they suck, they still play it.
Because it's the atmosphere at Staples Center.
Yeah, it's just a great vibe, and I mean, I remember we ate at it was terrible food. It was like when it was the Fox Sports Lounge or some shit like that. That food was terrible, dude. And that's when they announced Shaq won't be playing. I was like, fuck, but whatever, we're here.
I actually R.I.P. to Kobe, who we just again because we just celebrated his 1-year anniversary. I remember one of the last Laker games that I went to was Kobe's last season. And remember that season, though, he was on like some load management shit.
Yeah.
because they were trying to make sure he lasted the whole year. And he was just coming off still the Achilles. And I remember I went with 3 of my homies. We went to pregame at BJ's. And we're at BJ's and then Kobe Bryant will not be dressing up tonight. And it was like, fuck, man. We literally had been chasing this dude to see him. And it was like, but the good thing, though, is at least he was on the sideline in a suit.
Like,
so, you could see him. Yeah, and Dirk, it was against the Mavs. So Dirk torched us that night. And I remember Kobe interacting with Dirk. And it was like, well, at least we got to see him in a suit because there were some games where Kobe wouldn't even come out to the court when he was missing a game. So yeah, I'll never forget that. And it was a missed opportunity, but
I don't remember the last time I saw him because I remember going back to a Laker game maybe 3 years ago, and it has to be maybe about an 8-year gap between going to Laker games. Like it was just, I wasn't about to pay staple prices for like that squad that was out there. But I think it was like playoffs or maybe like first game of the season against like the Steve Nash Suns, like that kind of era. But we were there the night he dropped 81. We were in the building, but we were there that morning for a Clipper game.
Oh, that's an interesting way to tell that story.
So technically, I was there. Here's the thing: we had this thing.
I love that.
Where I wanted to go to like a double header, and I was like, "All right, let's go." So it was me and Veronica. We went that. The Clippers would have the matinee. They would always throw them on at 12. It was like a $10 ticket to go see the Clippers. I think it was Elton Brand's Clippers. So it was a little bit more of an interesting watch. And we would just go based on whoever they were playing that night, right? So I was like, or that day. And so we're like, all right, we're going to watch a Clipper game, and we're going to go have lunch, and we're going to just kind of hang out in Silver Lake or Echo Park, and then come back and watch the Lakers. Like, that was the game plan. As we were leaving the Clipper game, I remember walking past the box office and thinking, like, we'll buy tickets when we get back. Like, it's cool. We went, we drank, and it was just like, I'm tired, I'm sleepy, like, let's go home. And like, I just remember watching from like the living room that day. I was like, fuck, we were there. Like,
that's the most Latino way to tell a story. I was there in the building the day Kobe.
It's not. I'm not lying, but it was just, oh fuck.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I mean, you could take credit for Kobe's performance. Your aura in the building.
We brought the vibes that day. Yeah.
Oh man,
that's good. Comedy. That's really good. Yo, Rick. So obviously you just said that the Dodgers are your team. Obviously the team you follow the most. How do you feel about what's going on currently with the offseason? I know we had like two guys that pretty close to our hearts here as Dodgers fans.
Break the news. Break the news, Donald.
Wait.
Break the news, Donald. Let folks know what's going on so that they know what the big news
is. If you're listening and don't follow the Dodgers, Kike Hernandez signed a deal with the Boston Red Sox, and Jock Peterson signed a deal with the Chicago Cubs. And if you're a Dodger fan, you know that it's kind of tough to see those guys go, given how much history they had here. This is kind of where they, became that. But I wanted to hear Rick's thoughts on what's going on. And
wait, didn't they also want one Nolan Arenado? Wasn't he on the wish list for Dodger fans? I'm just saying. All right, so Rick, let him know your thoughts.
You just couldn't let that go. You had to get that in there too.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks because like those are. I mean, I get it. Like there was no room for them. Obviously, they wanted play time, and you kind of like. I mean, at this point last year, Jock was almost an angel, right? And so you kind of you understood that, all right, this is, one last hurrah. And like, you're like, all right, cool. Like they did it. But those guys were clutch, man. Like Jock Peterson would always be clutch in the postseason. Kike was clutch on defense. You could put him anywhere and like, Kike's got it. Like, it's cool. And he had clutch home runs, against Atlanta, and he was just always big, and that energy was awesome. He'd do the random, he was like the token Latino guy that would do commercials. So it's just like, he's like Puerto Rican. He's not, why are you doing carne asada ads? But, he was just always kind of, he was cool. So I mean, it's not like they got big deals either. I think that's what's kind of like irks a little bit, because it's like I could see if they went and like, he got like a 5-year deal and blah, 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 blah. It's like 2 years with Boston. Cool, have fun, go hang out with Verdugo. And Jock Peterson, again, that was also kind of like, at least we got him for 1 year to where he could finish off and get that ring, and he's gone. But yeah, I think it's like those little clutch moments though, where it's like, okay, hopefully like someone comes through, and they have dudes that can come through.
Yeah.
So I'm like blanking here. Like the third baseman that came in for COVID ass Turner in the World Series, like he has a beautiful swing, and like hopefully he comes up clutch.
Is it Edwin Rios? That was
Edwin Rios. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And then so there's always like young dudes there.
Yeah, they got a good roster.
And and I think like it's crazy because like everyone's kind of taking on like this Dodgers GM, route of like, we're not trading our big, you saw what the Padres did, and like, not cashing out, like, going big and not giving up any of their big time guys. So, it's cool. So you kind of have faith in management, which is weird because it's like, that's, fuck authority, but but we fuck with, what the Dodgers front office does. So, it's just kind of, hoping someone else. Will Smith comes clutch. Austin Barnes has been clutch. So they have dudes. But it's just like, damn, like if you take them off the roster this last year or this last 3 to 4 years, like, oh, there's definitely holes. Yeah. So it sucks to see them go. You're hoping other guys come through, but onward.
That's true.
I'm with you, man. I've always fuck establishment, fuck authority. Always agree with you on that. But I trust the front office is making the right scouting decisions to put the right guy in the right spot. Here, they obviously don't want to spend any more than what they have to because who are they going after? They should be going after a big pitching name, but they haven't done that. And
so wait, this is Trevor Bauer, right? Or is he a pitcher? Have you heard his rap song? Like, fucker had a rap. It was fucking horrible, dude. But it's hilarious. And now it's just like, this is so embarrassing if he becomes a Dodger. Like, well, like more embarrassing than like Barry Zito's like song. Remember
he'll
that?
Fit right in with the rest of the swaggerless lineup that y'all have.
And that's the thing. It goes back to what Sonny brought up about our swaggerless Dodgers during the postseason against Atlanta. Kike was really the only bit of swagger the Dodgers really had. Like, to have fun out there. It's like,
I mean, Mookie has some swagger.
You might get Ozuna. Ozuna might come through if they do the DH, but is that a possibility? Like, I lost track of.
Yeah, DH probably ain't going to happen in the National League. That's not looking likely. No. But yeah, the Dodgers are swaggerless, man. And Kike was like a big highlight of fun on that team. Now they don't have a real fun guy anymore. Yeah. I mean, Muncy is just so funless. He just goes up there and he's no nonsense, which I can appreciate like traditionally. But you got look at nowadays down in San Diego. Those guys are having fun. They're all young. They have a lot of that swag. Atlanta has a lot of it. But the Dodgers just don't. But, I mean, if you want to sacrifice swagger for championships, I guess that's what the Dodgers are going to do. Yeah. That's what the Dodgers do.
That's what the Dodgers do. I love how all of a sudden, hold up, wait a minute. I love how all of a sudden this narrative has changed about, you got to trust management. But y'all were fucking 5 years in a row of coming up short and everybody questioning the manager, the management.
So, like year one was a cheat. Cool. But that was a toss-up. Like, even with whether or not how effective the cheating was, that 2017 was a toss-up, which was, Boston, that was like, hey, man, you had to be perfect. That was like, fuck Dave Roberts. What are you doing? Yeah. And then the year after, I was like, well, they looked tired. They just looked like worn out. I was like, even if they, this year coming around, it's like, well, it's a shorter season. They're healthy. We'll see what happens. And even then, it's still tight. I mean, I think at some point, it's just like, man, this shit is a toss-up. A bad pitch, this and that. I mean, at some point, you can manage or you don't. But, you can. It's easy to look at what Tampa did in Game 6 and be like, oh, that's clearly, a management decision. And then, like, I could see why that fool just bounced. Like, fuck you, I'm out of here. Yeah. And now he's a Padre. It's like, damn. So I'm excited, like, for the Padres, like, rivalry with LA. That's going to be fun. As far as, like, the Angels, right? There's always this kind of a SoCal rivalry. It's like that's just sad over there. It's just like it's like I used to like to go once a year to go see Trout. It's like I don't even want to fucking go there, dude. It's just like
but it's still worth it to go see Trout. But I agree with you. He's the one highlight on that shitty Anaheim Angels team. Or Los Angeles Angels team. Always Sonny has to correct me on that right away. We've gone over this. Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Oh my god.
That's not their name. Their name is the Los Angeles Angels
of Anaheim. And they're always gonna be of Anaheim, dude. I'm just sorry.
It's like they're in Anaheim. Like literally, dude, like the game gets interrupted by Disneyland fireworks. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like oh shit. Watch out, guys.
Was that a home run? No, it's just 9:30.
9:30. Yep. It's like shit, dude. That's funny.
Keep that same energy, Alex.
We are about to. So, Dodgers, the number one team, man. LA's number one team. LA's number one basketball team. Lakers, of course, over the Clippers. Yeah. What about the beautiful game of football, soccer? Yeah. Primo, Rick, how do you feel about that sport?
I got drawn into LAFC right off the bat with just how they marketed themselves and how they really kind of were. Yeah. Like, I mean, I was aware of their, a new team, cool. They're going to build it in just outside of downtown. Great. But yeah, two things really did it for me. The Carlos Vela signing was like, holy shit. Like, and the way that they really, they were present. Their marketing was in bars that I was going to that were like little obscure kind of hole in the wall bars with like I'd go and find a DJ there or something like that. So their genius marketing and really kind of targeting LA, right? Not the real LA, but not the Hollywood. Like the fact that they didn't try to do the Hollywood thing, even though Will Ferrell,
all the East side.
And I was like, oh shit, like they have smart people there, and then like I said, the Carlos Vela thing was like, I'll fuck with that team. I don't even know who they are. And this fool right here going season tickets, but I think it was the same vibe, which was like, oh shit, I'll go. But yeah,
I took you to game 2 at the bank of all, like game 2 at the bank.
Yeah, that shit was energy, game. Man, and the energy and just how they really embrace this kind of grassroots, just like coalition, right? Like to kind of like the fan base. And the thing is, like, I didn't know. I mean, I was aware of like what are the Galaxians or what the fuck?
The Carcelins. What are they called?
But like the Galacticos. What's that fan base called?
Here.
The Galaxians.
The Galacticos or something, whatever they were.
Galaxians.
The Galaxians. All right, yeah. Because I mean, I would follow them. Like I remember working. I mean, not like crazy. I never went to any games.
Right.
Because I was like, that shit's by LAX. Like I mean, I didn't know where the fuck it was at.
No, it's far.
The shit was far, right? It's on the way to LAX. And so I would just like, maybe we'll go see Beckham play one day when he was kind of there, and I never went. Right. Zlatan, let's go watch Zlatan play. And that dude was dope. That guy was fun for the shit. But
so did you get a chance to go see Zlatan play?
No, but I mean, it was must-see TV, though. Like, I would turn it on. Like, it was like, to see what this fool does. And that was a fun rivalry, because, like, it's kind of like, like the Lakers-Clippers rivalry, where it's like, they would get up. And I'm talking, like, Chris Paul, Blake Griffin's Lakers, where it was like, these little motherfuckers would just get up because they wanted to stomp on Kobe, which was fun.
Right.
And you'd watch, and you'd see, like, Lob City, and I was like, all right, fuck you. You guys ain't gonna win playoffs anyway. But it was still fun to watch, which is crazy, because seeing like the Pistons beat the Lakers a few nights ago, and like looking at Blake Griffin, I'm like, I see you, motherfucker. You're still like out there, still trying to bring that Lob City shit.
Still a Laker hater.
Yeah, he still is, right? So it was just like, fuck Detroit, but I like Blake Griffin. But yeah, I think that rivalry was fun. And it is, I could see from a Galaxy perspective, like, we've been here, who the fuck are you? And it's just like, yeah, man. But that energy, and like, again, it was marketed, curated, whatever it was, that they involved all of LA and this kind of swell that it was just like, boom. And I'm like, I'm in. I'll fuck with that.
And they put a product on the field that you could rock with.
Yeah, exactly.
Because marketing can only take you so far, man. Yeah. It'll get you there, but if your team is shit, that's not going to last.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the product on the field matched what they were doing, reaching out to the masses on the east side of LA.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was like the perfect storm, the perfect strategy, because now you have, I feel like, a solid foundation that's going to be here forever.
And then you saw what happened when, like, what Mexican fucking, on the kickoff, on the goal kick, the fucking chant that they come with. They tried that shit, and they put a fucking...
They stomped that shit out. Exactly. And of course, what Primo Rick is talking about is, Mexico has a tradition, unfortunately, a long tradition of when the opposing goalie is about to kick off from their goal kick, there's a chant. I'm sure all of you who have watched soccer before have tuned in and either heard the audio just suddenly drop in the middle when this chant happens, but it's a 4-letter word in Spanish that we throw around, or have thrown around in our lifetimes, very casually. Mostly not offensive, you've never meant it that way, but nonetheless, in the culture and the day and age that we live in now, where people are more woke, and you realize, like, why are we saying this? This is actually not cool. There was a lot of Latinos and Mexicanos that persisted to keep that chant going, and good on LAFC for stomping that shit out, man, because that I remember when we would get notifications as season ticket holders, like if we hear or catch anyone in your direction, like your license is revoked.
Oh wow.
Damn.
Yeah, so they were treating it, legit. So I was proud of that fact, because I've never liked that chant. I remember even watching Mexico in the World Cup, it was like, damn, like I hate that we do this. Like this is not how I want to represent. But anyways,
Yeah.
But I love Primo Rick hit on everything there, that it was marketed well, grassroots effort, which is all the reasons why their LAFC fan base is as strong as it is now. But to your point, Sonny, it's very true. They're putting out a good product on the field. And last night, as a matter of fact, I got on a Zoom call with the Angel City Brigade LA Galaxy supporter group. And let me just say, their Zoom session was a lot bigger than the season ticket holder Zooms that they've had for Galaxy watch parties when you watch the game. This one had over 200 people on it, as opposed to the regular 24 that would show up for actual games. So, and a lot of it was stemming like, how do we support the community? What kind of drives are we going to get together? How are we going to watch the Galaxy this year? And they actually had a player come on, the new signing, Jonathan Bond, the new goalkeeper they got from the English Premier League team. I believe it was West Ham, right? Right, D-Bot?
Yeah, West Ham.
So the Galaxy are aware of how much the ground they have to keep up with the fan base support, that LAFC has a strong hold on the LA fan base market right now. They are, as you say, they're like the Clippers right now to the Lakers in just fan support, man, which sucks, but a lot of it is they're doing by the product they're putting on the field. If you in that Zoom call, they were talking to their new goalkeeper, and they were saying, "We're going to support you for 90 minutes. All we want from you is to play your ass off. Like fucking play for that crest. We're going to be out there cheering." So I think a lot of it has to do with the accountability on the field, because there was no accountability on that Galaxy team last year, and it might be because they were playing with no heart. No, Chicharito wasn't playing with a lot of heart last year. So,
who?
I mean, he's no Carlos Vela. I will tell you that much right now.
Zappa was like, I just want to go watch LeBron play. What the fuck am I doing? Right? Like, I got to be out here for 90 minutes. Fine, whatever.
When can I go back on Twitch?
Yep.
Man, so going from football going to now American football, Super Bowl's coming up. Primo Rick, who you got? Tampa? You got
I'm gonna
City?
go. I'm rallying around the black assistant coach who doesn't seem to be getting a fair share as a head coach. So
Eric Bieniemy.
I'll fuck with him. Yeah, Eric Bieniemy. But yeah, I mean, it's funny. I realize I never really hated Tom Brady. I just hate Boston Celtics fans who are living within the vicinity of the New England Patriots. So I always fucking hated New England.
Yeah.
And I was just because once he left, I was like, I like him. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't hate him. I was like, no, I think I just hate Boston. So any kind of link to like New England, I was like, fuck that team. I don't want you to be happy. But it was impressive to see him just like do what he has been doing, and it was like people talk about him winning the divorce with Belichick, and yeah, I mean it's cool to see like quarterbacks do that, or any athlete do that, where it's like, because we got LeBron, it's like, I want to see you be effective in your early 40s, you know what I mean? So you kind of root for the old dudes to kind of like figure it out and make it happen. A lot of it has to do with, right, like whatever that was, a TB12 thing that he does, where no coffee, no nothing,
snake oil,
whatever. Just all that shit that any regular person's like, oh, I'll do it, and it's like, nah, he's got a lot of people cooking for him and shit, like, but he took care of his body, he took care of it, and a lot of it I think kind of stems from Kobe, which was one of the first dudes that was like, let me go try this shit with my knee in Germany and see what happens, and let me just focus on my body and not get drunk every night and not hang out with hoes every night, and maybe I could play. Yeah. So, which is weird because like I often think, man, like if Ken Griffey would have done that, like I think about like, because he was great, and it's just that he was just injury prone. And I mean, I don't know
if Griffey would have taken steroids. Is that what you're saying?
No, but like, just doing that whole like, I don't know. I mean, he was talented. I didn't follow him that way. That might be more of a Sonny question, but like, what the fuck, dude? Like, he just got fat. Like, what happened? He got hurt.
Look, Griffey, Griffey was a product, and it's funny that you bring up Griffey because actually one of the news updates of the week was that Griffey was hired by MLB to be the what's the official title, Donald? You might have to look that up so I don't get it wrong. But
he's doing something with player development, I thought it was, in the sense where he's helping bridge the gap between
MLB senior advisor.
Yeah.
Thank you. So he's the senior advisor to Rob Manfred, with the hopes and the idea that he will somehow help inject fun back into the sport.
Oh, fuck that. You need Korean baseball players and bat flips, man. That's what the sport needs, dude.
Well, the thing is, you see, Griffey embodied.
Yeah.
Griffey made baseball cool in the 90s.
Yeah.
Exactly.
BP with the hat back. Yeah, that fucking
and
swag,
then
that swing.
The swag, the swing, when and he played hard. So Griffey's problem was that he kind of went balls to the wall early in his prime.
Yeah.
And he actually got injured as a result of it twice. Once he broke his wrist.
Yeah, I remember that wrist thing,
And that kind of, I think the wear and tear, it's funny, it kind of reminds me, not to the same exact level, but it reminds me of what happened to AI and what's happening now to Russell Westbrook. Dudes who played hard in their careers that it ended up catching them in the ass later, where it's like, dude, these dudes were supposed to be like all-time greats.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, they're out the league.
Yeah.
I mean, Russell Westbrook's still in the league, but he's looking like more on the downside every week. So Griffey was very much a player like that. And it begs the question, like, damn, what if Griffey would have taken what Barry took? Or like he would have had way more home runs than Barry Bonds, I'm glad he didn't. I say that as somebody who, I mean, obviously no one knows, but from the eye test and from everything that we know, it seems as though Griffey did it the clean way. And as a result, injuries. Once he got traded to Cincinnati, it was injury after injury after injury, and it derailed him, man. And it sucks because, rest in peace, shout out to Hank Aaron. The way I found out about who even Hank Aaron was as a kid was because my favorite player being Griffey, I'd read in the newspaper, Griffey's chase to catching Hank Aaron. I'm like, who the fuck's Hank Aaron? You know what I mean? And that's how I learned the game. It was like, oh, this guy's like the home run leader. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's what happened with Griffey, unfortunately. I still maintain, had he been healthy, he would be arguably a top two GOAT. Him and Babe Ruth, I guess, if you want to put in that conversation. But
and I think that's what we kind of see now, like in going back to Super Bowl, like seeing what Brady's done, old quarterback, kind of seeing LeBron, old guy, thinking even like what Kobe was as a 36-year-old, like he was fucking his Achilles up, like, it was almost an injury every season. But he was trying to carry the entire weight of the whole team. And that was kind of, that was the love-hate thing you had with Kobe. If you're an honest Laker fan, if you're being honest, it's like, yeah, Kobe. Right. What the fuck, Kobe? Like, and then I think that kind of led to a lot of his injuries. So Brady being the old guy quarterback, I dig it, but I don't think I want Tampa to win.
Hey, but real quick, do we give Brady a pass here for the whole Deflategate Association and the whole Spygate Association?
I think they just got caught. So
you think everybody was doing
I think everyone does something. I don't know,
So then you shouldn't have a problem. So you shouldn't have a problem with the Astros then. Get the fuck out of here with that energy.
They got caught. But it's just like, I think what's reflected is, Kershaw ain't shit. I'm like, nah, Kershaw dominated in game 1. And then game 5 was like, what the fuck? I think also baseball has this unwritten rules shit, which like, if you're going to get rid of it all, cool. Allow, signs to be stolen, but let me throw a fucking ball at your head then. You know what I mean? Like, let's be, if you're going to be about it then. So, that's going to be, Griffey's got an interesting job ahead of him then, man, because he's going to have to like essentially be the dude to deconstruct the unwritten rules where a lot of people kind of reminds me of like Kurt Schilling, and it's like, fuck that guy, But
dude, the Kurt Schillings of the world, the fucking Eric Hosmers of the world.
Yeah.
Who was that? John Lackey of the world.
Right.
Madison Bumgarner.
The Bumgarner, yeah. That's why I like, the go get it
Hey, all those dudes have something in common. Just saying.
Yeah. And no, it's true. And that's why you look at Puig, man. Like Puig, like they didn't let Puig fucking shine. And I mean, obviously the dude was a little bit wild, but when he came in and he was like, going crazy and, celebrating, enjoying himself, like, that should be the norm. We should, I mean, shit, the NFL has that fucking camera where the defense, rolls up and like takes a big ass selfie and shit, like on a takeaway. Yeah, that should be encouraged. More of that.
Remember when the NFL used to try to go the other way?
Yeah,
and they tried to penalize for
50 celebration rules. It was like that was bullshit, dude. And then it's like, you might end up being MLB. So
that gave us one of the greatest Key and Peele sketches ever. Of the hump, hump fucking skit. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, just YouTube Key and Peele football celebration.
Yeah,
I mean, like baseball has to be careful of not turning into golf, where like golf has a hoodie controversy. It's like, oh, are you wearing a hoodie on the golf course? Like, the fuck is that? How is that even a conversation? Yeah. Fuck that.
So what's going on with that? So
I mean, I kind of like, as I've been golfing with this fool right here, as we've been golfing more and more, you kind of start to follow different brands, and then shit pops up in the feed, and randomly it was like, yo, man, this guy wore a hoodie. It's like, that's a thing? Like, it's like, dude, like people are pissing in bushes, like on where I golf, like, it's just like, but it's like, if that were, embrace that a little bit more, then that might grow your game instead of having to worry if fucking Tigers doing something, like, because
shout out to Pico Rivera Golf Course, because we always say they provide complimentary teas, and really what it is beer bottle caps that you can find
oh my God.
that are everywhere around the tee box. You just use a beer bottle cap.
Yeah, man. It's like, oh, hey, the food's in front of us. It smells a little how should I say?
Earthy.
It smells a little earthy up there. That's fine. They're moving a little slow. That's cool. It's a good vibe.
It smells like Otto's jacket.
Yeah.
Hey, okay, so going back to predictions though. So Rick, you're riding with the Chiefs on Super Bowl Sunday?
It's crazy. Like those guys, like I'm a casual NFL fan. They left in my formative years as a sports fan. So when the NFL left, I was like, fuck you then. Like, I don't, I got the Lakers, I got the Dodgers. Like, I'll casually root for a random team every year. It didn't bug me. So, as a casual NFL guy, you kind of am aware of I still don't really go all in, but, you're aware because people don't shut up about the NFL. You can't escape it.
Yeah.
So, I'm down with, it'll be cool to see a dynasty. And but it's like I kind of like the Chiefs, so like it's like they kind of remind me of what Golden State was, except these fools just took the whole season off, and then they're like, all right, playoff time, let's go run it up on everyone. Like, I liked that. I hopefully they kind of turn into a villain team, and they like, because like that Rams Monday Night Football game with the Chiefs.
Yes.
That should be a Super Bowl every year. Like that type of like 55 versus 57 type games. Like that is insane. Just bombs and bombs and bombs. And whoever makes the last mistake pretty much loses. Like that's what the fuck I'm here for.
That was one of the greatest football games of all time.
It was awesome.
Even I had to concede that. And I didn't care but I remember watching that and being like, dude, can we get this in the Super Bowl?
Can we get that Jared Goff back? What the fuck, Jared Goff? Like, where did that guy go, man?
So, Primo Rick, you don't fuck with any NFL teams in the LA area.
I mean, I pay attention to the Rams, and I would say maybe about 2 years ago, I remember watching like they were playing the Cowboys, and I was like actually invested, like, oh fuck the Cowboys, beat them, and then they beat them, and I was like, yeah, and then I kind of felt like I had my chest out. I was like, oh shit, and like, but I like Aaron Donald though. I do like I that like dominant player that's always somewhat triple teamed, and like people are like, he doesn't have a sack. There's 3 motherfuckers on him. Then he gets a sack. It's like, dude, all right, what next? So I like that type of player. And it's almost like he's sort of becoming a player that's like, yo, you guys got to get a ring for this guy. Or if not, like, send him somewhere where he can win. Because it's like,
they're about to JJ Watt him.
Yeah,
they
just
JJ Watt him.
Dude, it's just like, they're going to like, it's just like, he doesn't do it all, but it's just like, he's dope. He's fun to watch, man. So, I saw him with his little rib injury and not being able to kind of take down Aaron Rodgers, and then seeing what Tampa did to Aaron Rodgers, like, what the fuck was that last week? Like, dude. But what did he get sacked? Like 5 times in that game? It's like, I didn't even know Tampa had a good defense. Like,
their O-line was worn out from the week before. That's
that's probably
you guys softened them up.
We softened them up, bro. Any way to take any little success for the Rams, man. I got to jump on it, even though they don't deserve any right now.
Yeah.
All right, so football, well, also the great sport of professional wrestling, sports entertainment, treated like a goddamn sport that it is, goddamn it.
Dude, I had an Ultimate Warrior wrestling buddy as a kid. Like I looked that shit up on eBay. They're like $300, and I was like, God damn, my mom was dirty as hell.
Why did I rip mine up? With the people's elbow, just dropping
dude, I used to have the same one, Ultimate Warrior wrestling. No. I had Randy Macho Man Savage.
Oh, okay,
buddies.
That one had the belt on him, right?
Yeah, with the purple bandana. Purple bandana.
Oh man, so WWE or wrestling in general, Primo Rick. So how often did you watch it as a kid growing up?
As a kid growing up, it was part of my life, man. Like I was sad when they squashed fucking Jake the Snake's. I was like, holy shit.
That snake's dead, dude.
Yeah, they fucking killed the snake. And then when they when Undertaker buried Ultimate Warrior, and I was like, God damn, that was traumatizing. When the Rockers broke up, that was traumatizing. I
love that. One of the greatest storylines ever, dude.
And he ran through that window.
Brutus the barbershop, dude.
Yeah,
that
dude.
was wild.
And then, seeing, WrestleMania 6 is huge. It was like, wait, Hulk Hogan lost, like how? I still watch that every now and then on YouTube, just like, fuck, that shit was huge. Like, I remember grown men crying, like, what the fuck? So I was through all of that. It was a part of my childhood. But I kind of like, it was like 7th, 8th grade, going into high school. I was like, I shouldn't be talking about this shit, man. That shit can't be cool. But finding friends that were into it, so I was like, oh, fuck yeah, dude, let's do this. Because then at that time, The Rock and, Stone Cold Steve Austin came through, and it wasn't as campy as it was, as a kid growing up.
Yeah.
It was a little bit more, what was that, the Attitude Era?
Attitude Era.
It made it easy to consume, and you didn't really kind of feel like a nerd, because then you kind of found people that were into it, and it was almost like a Dungeons and Dragons type shit. You were a bit on the low about it, like, hey,
dude, it was.
You watch that too?
Was,
cool. And then it was like, oh no, this guy watched. Oh fuck it, and we could talk about this shit. And then cool.
It was a monthly event, or every other monthly event at the Casa Escamilla, Primo Rick's house.
We would host this shit, man.
They would always host
all the
wrestling pay-per-views. And as Latinos, it was like, oh, we know somebody who's buying the pay-per-view. Like, we'll be there, and so all the cousins would show up, and we'd all be around the one living room TV. And it's not like it was a huge TV, but it was big enough.
It was big enough. The 20-inch TVs back in the day. I remember those.
And I remember it, man. It was one of the most exciting things to like witness as an even younger kid. It's a slight age difference, but it was awesome, man. Like just making it an event, showing up, and then later on we carried that on with boxing, because then Rick would host all the boxing fights, and be like, oh, we're going to Rick's again, like we're going to So it was good times.
Because there's always that correlation there. It's like it's a social gathering. Like, boxing, of course, is like a legitimate sport. It's a shoot sport. MMA now, UFC is like a legitimate sport. But it's that same, camaraderie that you guys are into this. You're following fighters. You're following storylines.
Yeah.
So like you get together and watch it together as an event. And you were talking about those as a kid, man. I remember being in like cousins' living rooms or friends' living rooms, and just piled in there. No more seats on nobody could fit in any more couches. Sit on the floor. Bring in a chair from the dining room. Sit on the floor somewhere else, man. You got to find somewhere to get in there and watch those events, man, because they were you had to do it. You had to get together with all your friends to talk about it, because you didn't want to be the one friend that didn't see what happened live when Jericho debuted. When Jericho debuted, I remember that countdown.
Never forget that.
That countdown, like, dude, countdown, and they're like, I think the week before they said it's gonna end during Raw. The countdown's gonna end. So like, oh damn, dude, you got Monday, you got USA Network. I don't got it at my house. I'm gonna go over to your house and watch it. So we all got together to watch it live, because you didn't want to see it or hear about it afterwards. So
By that time, luckily, we had the black box. If anybody remembers the black box,
yes,
bootleg cable that you just had to pay for. And I remember getting into trouble because the channel that Raw was on would then after hours turn into something else. And it would be like, oh shit, like my mom gonna catch me watching this shit.
I swear, Mom, I just want to watch wrestling. It's wrestling.
But then wrestling turned into that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I know.
You didn't even stick around for the after hours because then the Attitude Era started like showing you shit like that was like,
that's true, man.
I want to watch this every week, dude.
Depending on what your age was, that's really all you could have handled at that point. It's like, whoa, wait a minute now. Yeah. Now this is way too WWE Raw for me.
Yeah. So
this is straight up Warzone now.
Good times, man. I remember.
Oh man. So who would you say was your favorite wrestler during that Attitude Era?
Man, I mean, God, I didn't like when the Undertaker went that motorcycle route shit. It was a little weird. I mean, I still fucked up, but I just thought it was kind of weird. Yeah. So I mean, the Rock is just, he was just so damn fun. You know what I mean? And that's what it was. And it was just anything he did was great. Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold was great. I mean, it was. I was very just like, yo, give me the heavy hitters. Yeah. I did like Triple H though, and I remember when he first came in as Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and it was very regal.
Bow. Yeah, do the bow.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious. And so, there was just so much, man. I mean, I would say all time, like I would say like Demolition was like my favorite.
Yes, dude.
Because they were just fucking great. And I love that, like, because I was like, which finishing move would actually hurt? I'm like, I think Demolition. Well, then Legion of Doom too. That looked like it would hurt. But I was like, that was like that whole little backbreaker thing with the elbow. And I was like, yeah, that was kind of like my whole thing. And then they brought in Crush, and I was like, all right, they're kind of jumping the gun here. Like, but it was
the most believable finish to me as a kid was the sharpshooter. Yeah. That was always the most believable finish to me, where I was like, oh, don't let him catch you in that. Because it felt like an MMA type move now in hindsight.
So I remember as a kid getting in a fight. I used to go to Tijuana all the time. I had family there. So my dad would take me there almost every weekend. And so we would like, when you play fight and then it gets a little real and then it fucking turns into something. So I remember having this like Tootsie Roll lollipop in my back pocket. And so we were squabbling, dude. And it was kind of like it turned aggressive and then whatever. So Sergeant Slaughter used to do this thing where he'd take his knuckle and he'd kind of bury it into the side of your head. So I took that fucking lollipop and I just put it into the side of this kid's head, and he started crying. I was like, "Oh shit! No, no le digas a tu mamá. No, estamos jugando." So it's just like, fuck. So I was like, that hurt. So I could vouch for Sergeant Slaughter's. It wasn't because he had the camel clutch, right? Or what did he have? Which was like, but he did his other thing where he kind of would do the knuckle thing, and I put that shit out on, and I took that shit with me. I took it to the streets, and it's effective. It is effective.
It's a shoot maneuver there. I will say this: I've been put in a camel clutch myself during these aggressive, rough housing, and that hurts too, man. You know which one really legit hurts is the figure four leg lock. Okay. Shout out to Ric Flair.
Yeah, that one.
Is legit on the shin pressure. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Damn.
So, Primo, Rick, you ever go see live WWE shows?
Yeah, we used to go, and that was like, because my uncle was into it, and so it was like 3 generations in my family that were into it. So it was like he would take us, my mom would give us money for parking and like, whatever. We'd all kind of like split the cost. And so, yeah, I mean, we would go, we'd go to Anaheim. Like Staples was more like, oh, we saw it at Staples. And Anaheim was like, yeah, it's always at the fucking pond. But yeah, I mean, like the Anaheim had the rowdy tailgating. And I remember like, this one dude like being on top of his like fucking Chevy Silverado, this raised Chevy Silverado, and just standing on top of it, someone chucking a beer up there, and he just grabbed it and drinking it down like he was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
My favorite thing though about being at those events, it was always a must, which was to get the wrestling ice cream, which had the little bread with the printed wrestler in front. Like that was like that had to happen, and like I wish those fucking those things still existed.
Yeah.
Every now and then you'd find the paletero that would slang them, and you're just like, yo, I'll buy you out. They're all $1. I got $7. Let's go. But yeah, those
and they would have come with a card inside too.
Yeah, exactly.
Collect that card. Yeah,
that's right.
You know, so that was always a must. Like I didn't need to buy a shirt. I didn't need to buy anything. I just want that little ice cream, and I'm like, I'm good to go.
That's awesome, man. I've never experienced a WWE tailgate, man. That's what it sounds like was going on over there. Dude.
Yeah, no, I mean, I remember because again, it was like I remember my cousin, like at that time, he must have been 19. Like he was bumping Mos Def's first album, and that's when I first heard it. And like, we're just, and he brought food and the ice. I was like, what? All right, I guess this is cool here. And we weren't the only ones, man. And it was just like, all right, there's tailgating at these things, man. Fuck.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. That's dope. We got to bring that back. After post-pandemic, man, we got to go hit up a Monday Night Raw and do a tailgate thing.
Hey, shout out. Didn't Royal Rumble just happen?
Royal Rumble's just about to wrap up. Yeah, man. That's and we'll see. That's the road to WrestleMania now. And WrestleMania is for me.
Yeah, well, I like, because I would say maybe 2 years ago, last year I was busy on WrestleMania, but I do like WrestleMania feels like a homecoming. And I mean, it's fucking 6 hours or something now, but because they're like, fuck it, it's not pay-per-view. But I do like that before every match, they do kind of give you the storyline. So so at least you know who you want to fuck with during that match. So I was like, all right, I like this guy, you know. And they do a good job of bringing these old dudes back and kind of weaving them into the story so that, you can kind of come back and sit and like, oh, okay, cool. All right, Shane McMahon's in a fight. Cool. I remember, this guy's crazy. This guy's fighting in his Nikes. Like, it's like, it's a thing that they do a good job of for being the casual guy to still kind of sit back, kind of, it's a throwback type of a day for me. But yeah, I mean, damn, I think they were going to do it at SoFi, right? I was at one point, I'm like, I think I want to get tickets to this.
Nice.
Because it's just like, it's an event, so, it's still around. And it's funny because like my daughter likes to jump off of her bed and she flies across the fucking, it's insane. And it's like, I don't want to tell her not to do it because I don't want to like make her afraid of it. But I know one day she's going to eat shit and it's like, God. But, so one day I'm like, you look like this guy, Jimmy Snuka. She's like, who's that? I'm like, let me show you this thing. And then like, literally she's like, oh, that's fun. And I was like, yeah, daddy, like.
Make sure you land on pillows.
Yeah. And I told him, and that's the one thing I told him, like, you have to make sure where you're jumping on that there's nothing hard. And she's like, okay. And then boom, there she goes. It's like literally my balls drop. Like it's this thing of like, it's a real sensation of like, fuck. But she sticks her landing. So it's like, so far so good, man.
Man, I say you're in the running for Father of the Year, man. I like that. That's good parenting. That's good parenting, bro.
I try to think back as a kid. Because, like, I remember, like, as a kid, like, your parents or tias just, se van a caer. It's like, nah, we're not going to fall. We know what we're doing. It's like, I try to remind myself, like, no, like, as a kid, like, I had balance. I wasn't stupid. So I didn't, and I don't want to prevent her from, like, doing it. I'm like, all right, if you can, you got good balance. You kind of know what you're doing. Like, but
be
still,
safe about it.
Yeah, just be safe about it. But it's like, man, you're gonna fall back one day. Oh fuck! And it's just like, well, it's like a 6-foot drop. So it's like shit, But well, I think you could maybe a little bump on the head. Hopefully nothing too severe, but I think it'll be all right.
She's a child. She'll bounce back real quick, man. So WrestleMania is gonna be at SoFi Stadium now in 3 years from now.
Okay,
so hopefully by then Governor Newsom lets us out and do stuff.
I think about that, man. I think about like just being in a stadium with loud people and now thinking like, yo, these people are screaming and shit's landing on the back of my head. Like, it's like, that's kind of gross, man. But it's like, we're vaccinated, right? Cool. We're all vaccinated. Cool. Let's do it. But it's like, damn, I'm like high-fiving people I don't know. Fucking whatever,
dude,
man.
I remember 2004 Dodgers clinching the NL West division for the first time since like '88 or something like that. And there was a woman next to me and she gives me a big kiss on the lips. So it was just like, damn, dude, like we were just so freaking happy.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, man.
I mean,
and you guys are married now. That's crazy.
And that is not my wife. When I tell the kids that was your mom, yeah, sure was.
Wow,
but man, Primo Rick, man, thank you so much for spending your time here with us. We finally upgraded to the big star of the Fox Great podcast, so we're happy. We're very happy about that. D-Bot.
Wait. Can we get? I just, for the record, I want to get your predictions on this Super Bowl Sunday. I want to know if there's an opportunity to make money here since I've missed it the last couple weeks.
So official bets, replacing official Super Bowl
predictions.
Bets.
Give me your predictions. We got Rick, who's got the Chiefs.
Yeah, in a blowout too. In a blowout. I mean, if I'm a betting man, I bet the over. Yeah.
Alex,
my head says that too, but my heart really wants the old guy to go out with the chip.
Right.
And just show them he still got it and win the divorce, as you said, Primo Rick. So really put that icing onto the fuck Boston cake. And I'm gonna take Tampa. Tampa.
Donald.
So my heart says Tampa because I just think it's a crazy good story to see Tom Brady go somewhere else and then make it back to the Super Bowl again. I think obviously him just making it there is a big deal. Like, it's kind of like, I don't think anybody was expecting that. You know, everybody expected him to be this old guy that is already washed up at New England or whatever. But then my head says Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. And that's just, you know, no matter how good of a defense you are, he figures it out. And when you're young, you can be banged up with a toe turf and it doesn't matter. That's what he had last week was a toe turf or whatever. Didn't look like it bothered him at all against that Bills defense. So I just feel like my head says KC, even though I don't like KC because they're in my division. So it's that whole like having to play the defending champs is annoying, you know. So I think I'll go with KC.
Well, you should always bet with your heart, Donald. So I'll take that bet. Forget about what your head's telling you, because I too have KC, man. I have KC in a blowout also.
What about prop bets? Yeah, do you think it's gonna be heads, tails?
So
one prop bet. What song, if you know more than one fucking Weekend song, is that we're gonna start with?
Okay, which one he's gonna open with?
Yeah, that one pop song that he has, right? Like that's the Weekend is such sad boy shit, man.
Yeah. Whatever that. That's the one he's gonna fucking.
And then it's just gonna be cry music the rest of the way. Like what the hell? Like everyone's just like, yo, he's gonna bring Lizzo out. Like just do that. Like. But what is he gonna? Oh wait, no, this is an open stadium with people in it, right? It's so foreign. Like, oh my god, it's so jarring to see that shit.
Yeah.
But so I guess he'll be doing that, and
I guess my prop bet, the prop bets I always bet every Super Bowl are who wins the coin toss, if the national anthem is over or under. I bet the color of the Gatorade.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And
nice.
then I usually bet first scorer. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so player who I think is going to score first for either team.
There you go.
So I guess the one that I'm thinking at is I like Hill to score the first touchdown in this game.
Okay,
that's my prop bet.
I'll just put one out there. All right, like who gets sacked more, like Brady or Mahomes?
Or who throws more interceptions?
So that's Brady, man. That's I mean, you saw what the fuck he got away with last week. Like, my God.
Yeah.
But no, because I'm thinking like
who gets sacked more is a really interesting one.
Because like there's a legit defense on Tampa's side, and then Brady's like, well,
listen, take it from me. The defense that Mahomes is facing this year doesn't hold a candle to the defense Mahomes is facing
Here we go.
Let me just take it from me. And we sacked
and who did they play? Who did the Chiefs play last year?
They played the GOATs of an era, the San Francisco 49ers.
That's right.
And I think we only had but a couple sacks last year on him. Like that dude's elusive, man. Even with turf toe, I would still put my money on Tom Brady getting sacked more times than Patrick Mahomes, man. So
that's a good prop bet. Who gets sacked more and who throws more picks?
I say Travis Kelce for first touchdown.
Yeah, he's the favorite for the Chiefs to score the first touchdown. Although I guess Mahomes will be an interesting bet too, because I can see him rushing. One too.
You could just rush it in,
a touchdown in. Sure. Yeah, so
I got Gronk getting the first touchdown.
Oh,
it's weird because like the ads, right? They're gonna be a little bit different. A lot of major sponsors aren't really in it this year, so and it's gonna be interesting. Like how many sappy those of us who we lost in 2020
we're in this together type.
Like if you're an ad agency, is that what you want to do? Do you want to really bring that shit down to, I don't know, we made it to 2021? Or
that's true, because
try and be funny and silly, because is that even
that's
also
what I was
being
saying? There's a fine
stupid?
line that they're gonna have to walk here, because you don't want to be too sappy, but you don't want to be too hilarious either.
Yeah, or you're trying to be patriotic, even though some motherfuckers took it too far on January 6th. Like, it's just like it's a fine line. You got to thread a needle. Other than just like, here's our shit. Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you. Enjoy the game. So and I was trying to talk. We were kind of discussing a little bit before. We have like our quarantine circle, so there'll be like 4 of us getting together. And every year we try and do like a theme based on who's in the Super Bowl. So we ordered barbecue. We're getting some brisket and shit like that. So for KC, nobody knows what the fuck to do for Tampa. Like, what the hell Tampa based? We're here thinking like Jaeger bombs. Like, I don't know what the hell Tampa is.
Tampa's just this college town now?
Yeah, just like, that's what I feel like. Yeah, dude, some camo fucking camouflage shorts, cutoffs with Von Dutch hats. Like, we really, and Puka.
The most douchey city in America.
Yeah.
It's just like, no one knows what to do for Tampa themed anything other than, maybe some oranges. Florida,
oranges, there you go. I mean,
what is the fine Tampa cuisine that we should be fucking looking out for?
Like, I mean,
that's true.
No one knows.
In Tampa, they have a big Cuban population there, so maybe some Cuban food would be nice. Ybor City, shout out to Ybor City there. That was nice.
So, you really want to have a Tampa themed party? Just expand your guest list.
no mask required.
It's like, and I have Vanilla Ice perform.
Oh man, so are we locking in any of our bets here? Sonny, do you want to lock in a bet with Donald or myself?
I feel like Donald owes me one here. Like,
so he should give me a chance here.
Yeah, so because we verbally agreed to bets the past 2 rounds, but we never actually put any stakes up. So, Donald, you tell me, man. What do you want to do? What do you want to do to make this interesting?
Well, we both chose KC to win it. The only difference we have is in players to score the touchdown.
Okay, so first scorer. So you're gonna say Kelce.
I say Kelce,
and I'll take Tyreek Hill. And if none of them get it, then it's a wash.
Yeah.
All right. We'll put a nice bottle of something on the line.
There you go.
Sounds good.
A little bit of whiskey.
Some nice Sailor Brew, maybe. Some nice Sailor Brew coffee for Donald. Yeah. That's his coffee of choice.
There you go. We'll put some beverages on the line.
There you go. Man.
Sounds good.
Good. Thanks again, man. Thanks again, Primo Rick, for coming on and gracing us with your presence here and giving us these great prop bet ideas. Best of luck to you and your crew there enjoying the Super Bowl. Hopefully, it's a good game, no matter who wins or what prop bets win. I just want to see a freaking gun, a slugfest, dude. Like much like that Monday Night Football between the Chiefs and the Rams. So let's see what happens. Let's see if old man Tom Brady is still up for it, man. I'm sure he might be. He might be. So thanks again. Thanks for downloading, listening this week. Follow Donald and myself at WestBoxScore. Follow Sonny and Primo Rick on Instagram at The Fox Crate. Be sure to download their podcast too, The Fox Crate Podcast.
Especially this week. Tune in because there's going to be part 2 of this conversation.
We ain't done yet.
We're going to be flipping roles in a bit.
We ain't
digest
done
this one and then tune in to The Fox Crate. Subscribe so that you can catch some interesting topics being discussed with
for sure.
with Donald the Bot and Alex. So, yeah, thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you. See ya.
All right, guys.
Peace.
Later.